Okay, new Master 69. Here. Oh, wait, we're not. We're not in school, sorry. What's up, Doc? The first round of debates is really gonna be kind of cut and dry, huh? For the movies, we can't really recall, yeah. I can't even remember who Malekith was in terms of the second Thor movie. He's not even here, so it doesn't matter. What? Too busy being irrelevant? Yeah, just like the second Thor movie. Michael B. Jordan. I was a good guy at heart. I had reasons. I'm Batman. I'm going to have a breakdown. Guys, next round, Dormammu goes up against Thanos. We're all gonna die! What's up, everybody? I'm not sick anymore, and guess what? I've had a pretty good day. I did professional development, I got the snap code of a cute boy that I like, and I've had coffee. We're back at it again in the debate chamber. I don't think it needs a name, and none of what we've witnessed can be called a debate. Hello again, Mr. Stark, who definitely wasn't invited to participate in this in any way, and yet is here. Again. Listen, I'm the start of it all. I have a right. I mean, I guess it'll be more fair this round, since you've actually dealt with most of the villains that we're going to be talking about today. Yeah. Let's get into it. No, before we get started, I would just like to point out, I have a chair now. Because I've thought this through. Can we get into it now? Okay. Each of these debates will be conducted by, I guess, the two of us, deciding which of the two villains ranks highest in terms of style, the aftermath of their evilness, and their badassery. The villain that ranks higher in the majority of those categories is going to move on to round 3. Beginning round 2 of the best-worst MCU villain bracket will be Obadiah Stane, who got through the first round on a default, up against Helmut Zemo, the villain of Captain America Civil War, if you were on Team Nobody. Following them will be the debate of the family members who were villains. Ego, from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, fighting against Hela from Thor Ragnarok. I will bet $50 I know who's going to win that one. Third, we will see first round Victor Laufey up against Red Skull from, I guess, Captain America the First Avenger. Although he was in more than one movie. But I guess he was the villain in that movie, so that's what we're going to count him as. Then comes Darren Cross versus my own creation, Ultron, from Avengers Age of Ultron. The fifth debate will place Alexander Pierce from Captain America the Winter Soldier, I cannot do this backwards, up against Loki from the first Avengers, and a lot of other movies, but he's the Avengers villain. Then we will see Mysterio from Spider-Man Far From Home take on the guy from Captain Marvel, whose name I cannot say and will not try to say. See, those two were pitted against one another because I thought it would be fun to see two bad guys who, like, the audience wasn't supposed to think were bad guys up against one another. Yes, you're very creative. And then Dormammu, who won his debate in round 1, will go up against Thanos, who, well, we know who he is. I may have to leave at that point. Are you afraid of him? Of course not. I just don't want him to be reminded of his failure because I pulled the Uno reverse card on him. Okay, and finally we will see first round Victor Killmonger up against Ronan, who was the bad guy in the first Guardians of the Galaxy, but he also made a brief appearance in Captain Marvel. So that was fun. If your definition of fun is as lame as mine. Woof. This is gonna be a wild one, huh? Oh yeah. Let's get into it. Mr. Stane and Mr. Zemo, welcome to the stage. Fantastic to be here again. Yes, it is an honor to be here. I'm gonna go ahead and say that we don't need to talk about this one. Why is that? I mean, Zemo tore apart the Avengers. That's a pretty big deal. If he hadn't done that, we might have been able to take Thanos down right away. I mean, could I speak for myself? Yes. I completely went against Tony's trust, and I like to think that was part of making him into the hero he became. There's psychological damage, yes, we've discussed this. Without me, there wouldn't have been an Avengers team to break up in the first place. To be fair, S.H.I.E.L.D. didn't even want Mr. Stark to be a part of the Avengers. But I was, and without me, there wouldn't have been a fight about Barnes, which means Zemo wouldn't have been able to do what he wanted to do. Exactly. I agree with this. However, it is also true that if I had not caused the breach within the Avengers and forced half of them on the run, perhaps they would have been able to deal with the impending space invasion a bit quicker, rather than wait for Thanos to come to Earth. Right, that's what I was saying before. Sorry, Obi, but I think we're giving this one to Zemo. I am also still alive and wreaking havoc in terms of the cinematic universe. Right. Round 2 goes to Zemo. Off to the loser circle with you, Stain. At least I gave it a shot. Yeah, good effort. Moving on. Would you look at these two? Wow. I would like to begin by pointing out that I'm a whole planet. I will say that my efforts forced the end of a whole planet. So did mine, technically. You were the planet that ended. It is safe to say that Hela is the more powerful of the two because she would only die by blowing up an entire planet. It goes the same way for myself because I am the planet. Ooh, that's true. Can you bring people back from the dead? No. In terms of legacy, I think the end of Asgard is a bit bigger of a deal than the end of Ego. Yeah, I think so too. And come on, Hela, I mean, it's Cate Blanchett. Gotta go to her. In terms of style alone. I agree. Hela, you win. Of course I do. It was never a contest. This is unfair. You know my actor is Kurt Russell, right? But Cate Blanchett was in Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Favoritism. The next debate? Lao Fei and Red Skull. Would anyone like to start with their opening argument? I made it this far on luck. I am indirectly the cause of the deaths of both Gamora and Black Widow. And my actor was also in both The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Oh yeah, he was Elrond, wasn't he? I don't think he was much of a villain in the first movie. Like, he wanted to be, but it's just kind of lame. I mean, we could talk about that. But in terms of legacy, Red Skull became the keeper of the Soul Stone, which is kind of a big deal. As we learned previously, my legacy was Loki's wreaking of havoc, which was pretty important to bringing Thanos to Earth in the first place. This appears then to be a matter of style and badassery, since you're pretty evenly matched in terms of legacy, I guess. What do you think? Honestly, I think Red Skull has got La Fei beat in terms of style. I do like to think of myself as a unit. Also, in terms of legacy, didn't you hear? We've moved past that. No, let him make his point. Without Hydra, which I was in charge of, the second Captain America movie wouldn't have happened, and S.H.I.E.L.D. would not have disbanded. Ew, that is a big deal. He's not much of a badass, though, is he? No. I did have the command of an entire army, which I brought to Asgard in order to take it over. But you were also betrayed by your own son. I don't know, Mr. Stark? I think relative to the 3 categories altogether, we have to give it to Red Skull. I have to agree. His legacy is stronger, and he was more stylish, even if he wasn't much of a badass. I took on Captain America. Yeah, so did I. Not as big of a deal as you might think. But you win. Spectacular. I will leave, then. Thanks for joining us. On to Cross and Ultron.
I think we gotta give it to Cross.
What, right away?
Yeah. What was Ultron's legacy?
Helmet Zemo?
Ooh, that's true.
My legacy is still, technically, the eventual discovery of time travel. I think the breaking of the Avengers is a bigger deal than that. I mean, if they hadn't broken up, time travel might not even have been necessary.
Maybe, maybe not. No one can know for sure. Zemo made sure of that, and I made sure of Zemo. So,
I think Ultron's more of a badass, too.
he's a robot who turned against his creators. That gives him some style, too. Yeah, okay, we can go to Ultron.
But, sorry, Cross. Next, we're on to Pierce and Loki. Oh, look at that. We've made it to the other side of the bracket already. Oh, this is going
Am I
backward.
actually allowed to speak for myself this time? Not for long, mortal.
Loki, you're dead.
Perhaps. Or perhaps not.
You're dead, bro. Tom Hiddleston's contracts were up in terms of movies.
Right off the bat, we gotta give style and legacy to Loki. I believe that what you have been referring to as badassery should go to me as well.
Well,
I maintained a decades-old group that was dead set on wreaking havoc while maintaining a government position. Don't know if I'd call that badass.
yeah, me neither. Alright, it goes to Loki.
Obviously. This whole mess is rigged.
Up next. Oh no, these two.
We meet again.
I really should just chuck you out a window.
I am so much bigger than you. So, you're the one who caused so much trouble for my kid because you hated me. That was in fact me. Hello. And you are Yonrog, commander of Star Force. So what did you do? Arguably, I was part of the reason that your Captain Marvel found it within herself to control her abilities.
I mean, that seems like a bit of a stretch.
You gotta admit, exposing Spider-Man's real identity is a huge mark for my legacy.
One thing I hate almost more than anything I've ever hated in terms of the MCU. Barring the obvious.
That was the point. I think style should go to me too, because, who else would have thought of using AR rather than putting themselves in the line of fire?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Messed up, but cool.
I hate this. Are we really giving it to him?
I think we have to. Legally. Even though we hate him.
You're supposed to hate me. That's my whole thing.
Yeah. Sorry, Yonrog, but since you were a puppet for the Supreme Intelligence, I don't really think you're a viable candidate.
I have to disagree, but I accept your decision.
Alright, next. Uh-oh.
I'm out.
Are you really leaving?
Yeah, I don't want to be part of this one.
Alright, fine. Dormammu and, Thanos. Hello. I am in fear of my life.
We have no intention of doing you harm, human.
At least, the winner of this round does not. Haha, that was funny.
It was not meant to be funny.
Anyway, go ahead and talk it out. I will just sit here in fear.
I do not even think we need to debate. Whereas you were unable to fulfill your original intent, I was. Tenfold.
It was also completely undone within 5 years, and you were dead at the end of it.
At least I wasn't defeated by an annoying wizard.
He was very convincing.
In terms of style, we do not even need to debate. Look at me, look at you.
I'm just like a floating head, though, and I'm brighter than the sun. I am much cooler looking than you.
Fine. What about this badassery?
I'd place us as evenly matched. We are both otherworldly beings. I'm just a bit bigger.
I had an army.
I didn't need an army.
That's fair.
However, I do believe that in terms of aftermath, you will take it. Although your original intentions were reversed, you did result in the death of several heroes that I doubt we will see again.
Yes, that's true. Shall we note them?
Please don't. I really don't think my heart could take it.
Fine, but I think we've reached a conclusion.
As do I. Fair fight.
Fair fight. Good debate.
Whew. That was the most afraid I've ever been.
You do realize that they aren't actually the villains, don't you?
Don't scare me like that. God.
Sorry.
No, you're not.
You're right. I'm not. Who's next?
Oh, Ronan and Killmonger.
Hello. What am I doing? Tell us why you're a better villain than Killmonger.
Oh.
I don't think I am. Yeah, neither do I. What's his legacy?
He doesn't really have one, does he?
And I'm definitely more of a badass than he is.
I think I have to agree with that, too.
I don't even... There's so much I do on a regular basis that I don't think I can remember what I did in terms of this.
Well, you wanted the Power Stone, didn't get it, and then you wanted to destroy Earth, but you didn't.
So, I failed.
Pretty much.
This isn't even a conversation. It really isn't.
Alright, yeah. I gave Ronan a bye because he was in 2 movies, but you're right, he didn't do anything.
I mean, I could have.
Sure. That's it. Really?
For this round, yeah.
Wow. We went through that so quickly.
I think there was a bit more traditional debate involved this time, though.
Yeah. This was a good round.
Where are we at for round 3, then?
It'll be Zemo against Hela.
Done.
Red Skull against Ultron.
Done.
Loki against Mysterio.
Finished.
And Thanos against Killmonger.
Done. Wow. The next video will be so short.
Yeah, it seems like it will be, doesn't it?
You know what? Let's just take care of round 3 right now.
What?
Yeah, send him back in. We're jumping right into it.
Well, hold on.
What? You want to give him a second?
Yeah, let's give them a chance to orient themselves.
Alright then. What do we do while we wait?
Do you want a drink?
Eventually.
I think this is getting really heated.
I'd argue that it's actually getting less so as we move on, because I think the less mediocre villains we get, the easier it is to decide which of the 2 of them is better.
That's a fair point. Last round, decisions were much easier to make.
Yeah, and I think this round it'll be even easier. I guess we don't really need to go over this again since it's all in the same video, but in case you missed the first half somehow, each villain is being given not really a score, but a internalized ranking in terms of style, badassery, and the aftermath of their bad stuff. And then the villain with the higher of those 2 moves on to the next round.
Alright, first up, Helmut Zemo from Avengers Civil War and...
Hold on.
What?
That's not the name of the movie.
Sure it is.
Never mind. Helmut Zemo up against Hela from Thor Ragnarok.
A mere mortal could not possibly hope to defeat me. I think in terms of categories, Hela does take style and badassery. But my legacy is very large, no?
It is.
That isn't how this has been working, though, is it?
Considering how late in the game it is, I think we really need to consider every aspect of the categories and whether one outweighs the others.
I ensured the destruction of an entire world. You also died in the process. And here I was thinking you were on my side, Stark. I'm an impartial judge. This is repetition, but I will point out, again, that my interference within the Avengers may have directly led to the events 2 years later, including the invasion and the snap.
Yeah, which is a lot bigger of a deal than Asgard being destroyed. Which is really sad to say, but it's the truth. In terms of the MCU, anyway.
If Asgard had not been destroyed in order to kill me, perhaps Loki would not have taken the Tesseract, and it would have remained safe.
Debatable. I think someone was going to come forward eventually.
So, you're saying that Zemo's legacy outweighs Hela's style and badassery?
I think it has to.
Even though Hela was played by Kate Blanchett?
That can only get you so far when you look at the bigger picture.
I feel like if we only look to legacy, though, we disregard the importance of style and badassery.
No one is implying that I was not also a badass.
Oh, please. What are you saying? I showed a video and got Iron Man and Captain America to fight with one another. That's true, he did do that. You're right. We should give it to Zemo. Thank you. This is ridiculous.
Hela, you will always be one of the best villains in my heart.
Do not speak to me. We're done here.
Am I gonna get killed in my sleep?
Remains to be seen. But if you are, you have no one to blame but yourself.
And who's next?
Red Skull and Ultron.
Hello again, boys. Long time no see.
Hello again. We're starting? Great. My actions resulted in Helmut Zemo's search for vengeance, and without that, the Avengers would not have split up. And if we're going with the argument that that led to the snap, then I was responsible for that. So, my legacy is a huge deal. Yeah, it is. What did we decide was your legacy, Red Skull? The disbanding of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Is it safe to say that without S.H.I.E.L.D. to get involved, the Avengers were free to fight with one another?
I think we would have ended up fighting with one another anyway. If I'm not mistaken, however, having Nicholas Fury as the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. counted as the Avengers being under some sort of higher decision-making branch, which, if that had still been in place, the Accords may not have been an issue.
Is that true?
Well, technically, S.H.I.E.L.D. oversaw Avengers' activities, but they didn't. We greenlit ourselves for the most part. That might have had to do with the fact that there was never anything for Fury to say no to, but
there would have at least been more of a fight against the Accords, if nothing else.
Or Fury would have decided they were a good idea. But if that was the case, Steve might have had less of a reason to not want to sign them.
Are we really debating giving this to Red Skull just because he was in charge of Hydra at one point in history? It wasn't like it continued on because he wanted it to.
That's true. Also, I'm definitely more of a badass than he is. And I mean, my style, through the roof.
Yeah, I don't know, Mr. Stark. I don't think we can say for sure that Red Skull was the cause of S.H.I.E.L.D. disbanding, even if that is what got him through the last round.
But I think you might be right.
Yeah. Red Skull, so sorry, but we're giving this round to Ultron.
Hydra was built by me. Without me, Hydra would not have existed.
Is that true?
A quick search of Hydra in terms of the cinematic universe implies that it was revived with him, but it had existed in ancient times. And it was Arnim Zola who revived it after Red Skull's disappearance.
Ah, so it was Zola who made sure it came back.
According to the Marvel Cinematic Universe wiki, yeah.
There it is then. I stand by my decision.
So do I. Ultron, you're moving through. It was a fair fight. You barely even fought. That's the lesson you can take away from this. Fight the battles that others will not fight for you. I can't believe this.
Loki and Mysterio are up next. This should be fun. Not.
I've already made up my mind. It's funny how unfair this all is when the judges feel personally attacked by a particular villain. Shouldn't have bothered their precious boy.
He's right. You should have stayed dead.
Can't you at least give one of us a fair shot to speak for themselves? We would, but I kinda just want to finish this up so that I can go take a nap, so.
Hang on, Mr. Stark.
You can't be serious.
I don't want to be, But he, unfortunately, has a point. This was meant to be the villains fighting for themselves, and it hasn't been. Not really.
Do we have to start being fair with him?
He definitely doesn't deserve it. But if we give Loki the same opportunity...
This sucks.
I know.
Fine. State your case.
Thank you.
So, I messed up Peter Parker's whole life, which is a pretty big deal in terms of legacy. I used my own technology, and yes, it was mine, to cause a lot of damage, which was pretty badass. And I know the fishbowl hat look isn't the coolest, but I think it's rad that the rest of my suit was, for the most part, pretty cool looking. Also, the fact that you both hate me should just be a pretty big point for me, regardless of where it falls.
You done?
I'm done.
Great. Loki?
Well, as I'm sure we all understand, my legacy far surpasses his because it was only because of my actions that Thanos turned his attention to Earth at all, which led to the whole event. And no one ever really knows what my true intentions are, which is a pretty big point in the whole villain category for me, I would think. Finally, I'm cool looking all the time. Sold.
Same.
Why did I bother?
No idea. Congrats, Loki.
My gratitude to you both. Last but not least, I'm out.
Again. Really?
Listen, it's safer for everybody if I just go.
Okay. Thanos and Killmonger, please take your spots.
I'm a badass, but I know when to accept that I have zero chance. I'm out. Peace.
Holy crap.
Just like that, huh?
This is stupid at this point. We might as well declare the winner now.
No. We see this through.
But you won't even face him.
Maybe I will.
What?
To make sure that this ends fairly, I need to be able to judge the final round. And the first step towards that will be judging the final four.
So, you're gonna be there.
I'm going to attempt to be there. And I will also have my Uno cards at the ready.
Ooh. That was recording the whole time.